Greetings, programs, and welcome back to Arc Neo Reviews, where today, at the semi-request of my wife, actually, I'm going to be looking at some How to Train Your Dragons things. Because my wife is a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon. I'm a big fan of it. I've actually got her random things from it, even while we were dating. And so she's like, hey, you look at toys and stuff, why don't you do these? So, first off, we're going to look at the dragon plush eggs. Now, there are a lot of these things, like an insane amount of these things. These are just the three that I have, I've gotten her. So, they are clear, so you can mostly tell what you're getting. As well as when you buy these online, they are pretty blatantly, labeled. Which is nice. But, first one here is little tiny Toothless. And he is adorable. Little stitched in eyes. Really, really soft fabric to make him. Little claws on his feet. Giant tag, unfortunately. And, I guess technically this one's just a Night Fury, because it doesn't have his little red tail fin. I don't think they made one with the red tail fin, as well as it's baby Toothless. He had his tail fin back then, so I'm going to say it's Toothless, gosh darn it. But yeah, he is adorable. The tag is annoyingly huge, but it's still cute. And so, go ahead, just, you can, what is nice is they sit really well in just the bottom part of the egg, so they can't just sit there and look adorable. I'm sorry, I know, I'm losing masculinity and manly points everywhere. This little thing that can't focus is adorable. I can't help it. So, we'll go ahead, get him back in his egg, which the egg can fight you sometimes, but not too hard to get him back in. And for the very obvious pattern that you're going to detect here, we have one of Toothless's kids from the end of the movie. You can see he hasn't had as much time out of the egg, or she, maybe, I don't know. So these parts are still a little flat, but this one's got actually kind of a nice little color blend going down the tail, fading to black. Since, the two different breeds of dragon going on, since, technically the girl Night Furies are Light Furies. So I guess this one's probably a Light Fury, so this one's probably a girl. But, again, these things are pretty great. So, get her back in the egg. Back. And we'll look at the last one, which is personally my favorite. This one is almost pure, half and half Light Fury / Night Fury. There's even like a lot of like a white undertone under the black fluff on his fabric. So yeah, this one is my absolute favorite. It is, the colors make me think of an orca. And anything that makes me think of an orca is just an instant win in my book. So, get him back in his egg again. And we'll move on to the next thing, since I know plush toys, not too exciting. just like those Jurassic World little dinosaurs we looked at last time, they have little blind package dragons. And I will warn you right now, I have no idea what all the different names are. I can't tell my terrible terror from my grunkle from my whatever. I know the Night Fury and the Light Fury. That's it. And conveniently, the first one we're going to look at is actually the Light Fury. So, as you can see, she is just completely white, except for her painted eyes. Got kind of that smug look on her face that she had. Little heart-shaped end of her tail there. Really, really nicely molded. But, as you can see, there's kind of a weird little pattern you can pick up on her back. This was one of the not blind figures. Also, I noticed I need to clean my camera. 1 second. Okay, much better. My camera just likes to fog in this weather over time, and so I have to just keep stopping to wipe it off. But, yeah, she was not a blind figure. She actually came with a little dragon hutch hideaway kind of thing. Which, as you can see, is just covered in, crystals and stuff like that. Looks pretty good. Big, obvious screw holes in the back. And then a battery compartment on the bottom, but overall, it looks pretty cool. And then the point of this, actually, I'm going to try to do this, straight. And then if I need to, I will go get I'll turn off the lights. But there's a little LED in here. So if you put her or any of the other dragons that have kind of that weird pattern on their back in here and hit the button, they actually have a pattern that will show up. It's a little hard to see. On her, it mainly does just light her wings up, but yeah, some of the dragons actually are black light reactive and have glowing patterns on them. So, get her out of here, quit knocking her over. And I'm going to keep this handy because I know for a fact I have at least 3 that will go off in here. So, I don't have any of these to open, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but first one is, Toothless / Night Fury. A little angry, defensive pose. I think this one's supposed to be Toothless because it's got, like, the molding for the tail fin, but then they just didn't paint it. But either way. And here you can really see, like, kind of the just slightly shinier stripes and stuff going on. So if we put him in here, get it dark, there you can hopefully see a little bit better kind of the way the wings and everything, the pattern shows up there, as well as it lights up his fins on his back. The camera back into autofocus mode. Then we have this purple, I can't remember the name of it. I'm actually drawing a complete blank on even what the named dragon of this breed was. So, Stormfly? I want to say it was Stormfly. But yeah, as you can see, there's a pattern hiding on the back there, so put in here, hit the light. This one looks... this is one where it just tends to glow. Some of them, it's like they overpainted. And so even though you can see the pattern here, when you actually put it under here, it just, the whole thing lights up. Also, props. This one stands just fine, even though it's on 2 legs. I've got other toys of this dragon. They don't stand for crap. So, then we've got whatever the heck this thing is. He is a weird one, but I do really like this design, actually. But yeah, again, this one actually does pretty well on showing the design on the wings. And it definitely looks better in person than on my terrible phone camera. And then, yeah, I don't have any more that do that, so we'll just look at the others, you know, straight on. You've got the, I want to say Barf and Belch. Again, you know, really, really well done, little kind of, you know, chibi-ish sculpts of the dragons. Not a ton of paint, but enough to, you know, keep them from looking too plain. Especially, you know, again, these are little. These are like the same size to smaller than these Jurassic World dinos were. And then there's a red version of that. Most of these have like multiple color variations. They come in boxes, they come in bags, they come in blister packs where you know one, you don't know the other. They sell these in a million different ways. Target has had them overflowing since the third movie was announced. And they are still selling them everywhere. And then we've got a little, there's also these ones you'll see where basically they have that glow pattern that the others do, but they just painted it to already be lit up, which I do appreciate. You know, it looks pretty cool on these ones. I love this Toothless with just the blue lines all over it. Then we've got, you know, the actual little Stormfly here. I hope I'm remembering the name right. This was actually my favorite dragon even, but we've got Astrid's dragon, I'll put it that way. I remember her name. We have Astrid's dragon. And again, it actually stands easily. Then we've got another one. It's got the, you know, pre-painted glowing lines. I want to say this is the Terrible Terror, but I can't remember. It is a fantastic little dragon, though. And that's what matters. And again, even though two-legged sculpt, stands, no trouble. And then we have two colors of Gronkle. And these things are just as derpy as they were in the movies. They're so silly. They're like the pugs of the dragon world. They're little tiny, like, eyebrow wings going on. They're ice cream butts and everything. Yeah, just they're adorable. So, yeah, these highly recommend. They're even good, you know, little D&D minis, especially, you know, kind of chibi-ish or not. This is still something that would freak out most players when you throw it on the table, which that always counts for something. But, you know, they're good D&D minis. They're also just really great little dragons if you are a fan of the series, which, again, my wife and I really are. And, you know, hey, if you want to be unique and you know a girl who likes, you know, How to Train Your Dragon, get her one of these instead of a teddy bear for Valentine's Day. That's coming up, and they still sell these everywhere. So, you know, do that. Do something unique. Get her something cool. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.